Johnny Test was a 2005 animated series that focused on a boy named Johnny with his dog best friend and his two genius sisters. It was funny and emotional with a taste of action, and in today's episode we shall have a look on all the characters that majored in the show, from the main to the antagonists. We shall discuss their unique personalities and appearances in the show, then later look at all the beautiful voices behind the scenes, the people and where they are, how they are and how old they are today in 2024. Johnny was a little mischievous boy who loved anything that looked or sounded awesome, and was the youngest of 3 siblings. He spent all his time with his talking pet dog called Dukey, who we shall discuss next. As a normal kid, he loved playing both video games and having outdoor fun, and was also so irresponsible in life, mostly in schoolwork and chores. He always depended on his intelligent sisters to do school projects for him while he was busy doing mischievous deeds outside. But when he focuses on something 100%, he always did it wholeheartedly and with so much passion. A boy voiced by a man called James Arnold Taylor, who is an American voice actor and recently a podcaster, and has been blessed with 1 child, married to 1 wife since 1991, and has been doing voice acting since the 1990s. Dukey, as we stated, was Johnny's best friend Doggy, who always accompanied him in every adventure, and was actually a talking dog that stood on 2 hinds and behaved like a human being. His role was to act as the voice of reason to Johnny's insane ideas and help him think much clearly. Although every time he always got manipulated into supporting Johnny's schemes and adventures. And even though he had the human genetics, sometimes he was seen to behave like a dog. An example is that he scratched himself and barked exactly like a dog. Voiced by Trevor Duvall, a Canadian voice actor who has widely worked with many studios like the British, Vancouver, and Columbia Pictures in his lifetime. Now, Johnny Test had 2 sisters, and one was Susan Test, who was the younger sister between the twins. She was 14 years old in the show with red hair and blue eyes, and was a super genius scientist who had characteristics of a tomboy. This girl was seen to have a deep obsession with a boy named Gil, who was their neighbor, voiced by a lady named Marieke Hendricks, who is a Bahamian Canadian voice actress who initially worked for Ocean Studios and is now in feature with the Columbia Pictures. The older twin sister was Mary Test, who, just like the other, was a genius and a lady with a high IQ. The only difference she had with her sister was that her eye color was green while Susan's was blue. Her and her sister were always together, mostly in the lab. Mary was more open-minded than her sister but much less outspoken. And she was actually the one who helped Johnny with his schoolwork because she was more empathetic than Susan. She was voiced by the famous Ashley Ball, who is a Canadian voice actress and singer known widely for her incredible roles in My Little Pony and the Barbie series. Braffig was a general and the leader of an army base stationed within the town. He was known for his generosity in providing people with high-quality car insurances for a lower price. He was loud as expected, and had that commanding force within him, and was known to take action whenever situations got too large for Mary and Susan in the lab. He had 2 agents who he always gave assignments throughout the show, and it was Lee Tucker who voiced him, a Canadian voice actor born in 1969 and has done so many wonderful Cartoon Network roles in his years as a professional voice actor. The handsome boy named Gil next door was a 15-year-old teenager who lived close to the Test family, and was the boy who Mary and Susan were obsessed with. He was a popular boy in school and in the town, but was well known for his very little intelligence. Just like Johnny, he loved cool things and was very easily distracted by merely anything. He was voiced by Andrew Francis, who is a Canadian actor who, just like Ashley Ball, was also in My Little Pony, and at only 39 years of age, he has more time to role in other hit shows. Johnny's dad was called Howard, or just Hugh, and was a stay-at-home dad. He cared a lot for his children and was always seen grounding them in order to keep them safe, and also wanted to instill responsibilities to them, especially his son Johnny. He loved cleanliness, order, and time management, and since he was the parent who mostly stayed at home, he was responsible for cooking and generally taking care of the household. Voiced by Ian James Corlett, who is also a Canadian actor and also an author of books, example like Yvonne of the Yukon. And now the mother, Lila Test, who was a businesswoman though her profession was never stated in the show, and the only clue we were given is that she worked for finance. She was not seen much due to her work, and was only present in the holidays and in her vacations. She was a nice woman who cared for all the family members including Dukey, and was also helpful with Johnny's schoolwork and her daughter's demands, and was seen enjoying to go on expensive vacations. She was voiced by Kathleen Barr, a Canadian voice actress who is iconically known for voicing Marie Canker and Kevin in the animated TV show called Ed, Edd and Eddy. Mr. Black was a secret government agent who worked for the general and was always seen at the Test's house getting the twins to build him new inventions. He was kind of a mutant who had the power to shoot ropes out of his hands, which was a reference to how Spider-Man shoots webs. He was buffed up like a gym bro and was voiced by Bill Mondi, who is an American film, television, and voice actor that is also known in The Dead Zone playing the role of Deputy Roscoe. Mr. White, on the other hand, was the best friend of Mr. Black and was also a secret agent who worked for the general. He had the same build and powers of Mr. Black, kind of like his interracial twin. Voiced by Scott McNeil, an Australian and Canadian actor who has offered his talent as a voice actor to countless animated shows. Sissy was Johnny's classmate who always had a rivalry with him, and always stated that she was smarter and more intelligent. And even though she bullied Johnny in almost the whole show, she once said that she always did it because she was attracted to him. She was 12 years in the show with blonde hair and blue eyes. The beautiful voice of Kathy Weasluck was responsible for Sissy, a Canadian actress and comedian who also does gaming voiceovers. Finally, a professor called Slopsink, who worked at Mega Institute of Technology and was seen to have one metallic hand. He was Susan's and Mary's teacher who was so proud of their genius intellect, and was also heard speaking in a German accent. According to the show's bio, his appearance was most likely based off of Albert Einstein, an old man voiced by Richard Newman, who is an American and Canadian actor who is most notable in Transformers. It has been fun making this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.